Archangel Michael says. The moment they saw your photo, everything around them stopped. Their hands trembled, their eyes filled, and they whispered your name like it still carried life. That image stirred something too deep to bury. Their soul broke open like a dam long held back by lies and ego. They had spent years pretending not to feel, not to care, but your face shattered the mask. One glance at your smile cracked the foundation of their denial. Archangel Michael says. This wasn't just anyone, this was someone who once meant the world to you. They had betrayed your trust in a way that you thought you would never heal from. But now, they are living inside a storm of regret, unable to undo the past. They thought they moved on, but your image pulled them backward in time. Every memory came rushing in like fire in the cold. They whispered an apology into the photo as if you'd somehow hear it from wherever you are. Type Amen to get blessing 333. Their confession isn't just about what they did, it's about what they hid. There was something they found out, something big, and they never told you. They chose silence, thinking it would protect you, but now they know silence was the betrayal. You trusted them, and they acted like nothing was wrong while holding that secret in their heart. But now, with your picture in hand, they're breaking. They're crying not just from guilt, but from the pain of missing what could have been. Their world fell apart the moment they realized what they had truly lost. It wasn't just the relationship, it was you, your warmth, your forgiveness, your light. And they know that once light leaves a room, darkness doesn't ask permission to enter. Archangel Michael says. They are preparing to come forward. The truth has become too heavy to carry in silence. But this truth will not just shake your world, it may completely change how you see them forever. Type Amen to get blessing 717. They've written the confession down. A letter that was nearly burned twice, thrown away 5 times. But something keeps pulling them to hold on to it, something keeps telling them you deserve to know. In the past, they chose lies. Not just to you, but to themselves. But now the mirror is showing them everything, and your reflection is haunting them more than any memory could. They aren't sleeping. Not because of fear, but because every time they close their eyes, your face comes clearer. It's not a ghost. It's a guilt-shaped memory that keeps whispering, tell them. You think they forgot about you. You think your absence meant nothing. But the truth is, your absence is the loudest sound in their life right now. Type Amen to get blessing 1001. They saw your photo in a place they didn't expect. Someone else had it. Someone who mentioned your name in passing. And in that instant, their chest tightened and their eyes began to burn. It felt like divine punishment, a sudden moment of reckoning. They remembered everything they tried to erase. And what was worse, they saw that you still looked like peace. They cried, not just because they missed you, but because they didn't recognize the strength in your eyes anymore. You had grown. You had healed. And that terrified them more than anything. The person they used to hurt had now become someone beyond reach. Not because of distance, but because of dignity. Your growth became their mirror, and they couldn't stand their reflection. Type Amen to get blessing 444. They're not just crying for what they did. They're crying because now they see what you were. A protector, a light, a soul too rare for the world they came from. They told others lies to protect their image. But now those lies have turned into ropes around their own neck. Every false story they spread is now returning as thunder in their ears. There's someone else involved. Someone who knew all along. They're the reason the confession never came earlier, they manipulated it from the shadows. But that hold is breaking. The guilt is louder than the fear now. The tears won't stop until the truth is spilled completely. Type Amen to get blessing 656. Archangel Michael says, this person may approach you soon. Not through pride, not through ego, but through surrender. The way they'll speak will be unlike anything you've heard from them before. They won't come with excuses. They won't come with, I was young, or, I didn't know better. They'll come trembling. Their voice may crack. Their hands may shake. Because you are no longer weak. You are no longer waiting. You are no longer the same soul they thought they could manipulate. And that's exactly why this confession has power. It's not about changing the past. It's about finally setting something free that has been chained too long. Type Amen to get blessing 1212. The letter they wrote contains names. Real names. Things you never knew. They saw something on a specific date, something about you, that they buried deep because it made them jealous. They were envious. You had something they never could. You carried grace without begging for it. You shined even when you were in pieces. Now the truth is a blade. And it's cutting through their silence. They realize too late that the truth was always supposed to be yours. They confessed in front of someone. That person may reach out first. A warning. A whisper. An accidental message that leads to a storm. Type Amen to get blessing 808. You are not imagining it. If you've been feeling sudden emotion lately, that's part of their release. The spiritual energy of a broken confession is moving toward you. Your photo didn't just open wounds, it opened a flood. They saw how much they still loved you, and it destroyed the illusions they were living inside. They tried to love others. They tried to replace you. But your smile made them realize, they were holding ghosts while your soul was made of fire. They won't stop until you know. Even if it means embarrassing themselves. Even if it means being rejected. They need to confess. Type Amen to get blessing 777. There's a chance you already sense who this person is. You may have had dreams. You may have woken up with their name on your lips. That's not coincidence, that's spiritual alignment. Archangel Michael says, there are two paths now. One is forgiveness. The other is justice. You'll be given the strength to choose wisely. Don't rush. Let the confession come as it must. You don't owe anyone your peace. But you deserve to know why your heart had to break in the first place. Because the truth will set not just you free, but your future, your purpose, your entire alignment. This is not the end. This is the clearing before the miracle. Type Amen to get blessing 2929. They may appear at your door. Or they may send a message through someone else's lips. One way or another, they will say what they should have said years ago. This person is not just a figure from your past. They are still tangled in your story. Though you've outgrown the chapter. This doesn't mean you have to welcome them back. This doesn't mean you have to forgive them today. But the truth must come into the light. You'll feel something when it does. Not rage. Not sadness. But a strange kind of release, as if your soul had been holding its breath too long. Type Amen to get blessing 369. They are terrified that you've moved on. But that terror is their medicine. Every lie they told, every moment they turned away, it's all returning to their doorstep. They're hearing your name more. It comes up in random conversations. They see things that remind them of you. The universe is forcing their truth into motion. You didn't have to chase them. You didn't have to beg for the truth. You just had to keep shining. Now the weight is shifting. You are becoming free. And they are finally seeing the cost of what they buried. Type Amen to get blessing 1234. Your face. That photo. That smile. It's still haunting them in the best and worst way. They will write again. Or speak. Or break down. Something inside them won't rest until it reaches you. You will know the moment it begins. Your body will feel a shift. Your spirit will rise. Your peace will return. And in that moment, you'll know, your pain was never wasted. Your tears were seen. And the truth is finally coming, with trembling hands and a voice that once lied now begging to be heard. Type Amen to get blessing 555. They may try to send someone ahead of them. Someone who softens the ground before the confession is planted. Watch carefully, because even their silence will carry guilt that can't be hidden anymore. There's a man who knows their secret too. He held back out of loyalty, but now he's restless. He wants you to know everything that happened, especially what was done behind your back. Archangel Michael says, "This will not be an ordinary confession. This is the kind of truth that cracks through generations of karma and reveals buried scars. It will shake both of you. You might feel anger first. Then confusion. But after that, something powerful will rise in you. A calm, divine strength. A new identity not chained to the betrayal." Type Amen to get blessing 911. They know they don't deserve your forgiveness. That's not what they're asking for. But their soul cannot move forward until you at least know the truth. They're confessing not for you, but because their soul can't breathe. The weight is pressing on them. They are waking up in the middle of the night, sweating, crying, whispering your name like a prayer. There was a day they wanted to ruin you. But they ended up ruining themselves. They thought hurting you would make them feel powerful, but it only made them hollow. Now, every time they see your face, they see the truth they ran from. And they are slowly falling apart. Type Amen to get blessing 2424. Their confession will come at a strange time. When you least expect it. On a day that feels ordinary but ends in spiritual release. The energy surrounding you is shifting. You might start hearing songs that remind you of them. You may notice odd patterns, numbers, names, echoes of a memory trying to resurface. Don't ignore the signs. Don't silence your intuition. The truth doesn't come wrapped in comfort. It comes in divine timing. Someone around you already knows part of this story. But they've been waiting to see if you would uncover it yourself. Soon, they'll step forward too. Type Amen to get blessing 3030. You may receive a message online. Or a photo, old and stained, showing both of you in happier days. It may come with only one line, "I'm sorry." That will be the beginning. A door they never had the courage to open. You'll feel your heart pound, not from love, but from the power of release. You don't need to answer right away. This time, you hold the power. You decide if this chapter even deserves your attention. But what matters is, you'll know. And knowing changes everything. Type Amen to get blessing 2020. This confession has roots deeper than romance. It involves jealousy, money, a deal made in the dark. Something was taken from you, without your knowledge. Now that deal is unraveling. The people involved are turning on each other. And your name keeps rising like smoke they cannot control. That person who cried after seeing your photo, they are the only one who can stop this chaos. But first, they must confess. They thought time would erase the damage. But time has only magnified it. Now they must speak or suffer the weight of their own silence. Type Amen to get blessing 888. You may get a call and not recognize the number. But when you hear their voice, everything inside you will pause. Time will bend. It may not be a perfect confession. They may stutter. They may cry. They may beg. But their soul will be trembling. They're coming with the weight of everything they should have said before. And your strength, your peace, will be what meets them at the door. You are no longer broken. You are no longer waiting. You are now the one with power, and heaven is standing beside you. Type Amen to get blessing 505. They cried because they realized something. You are not who you used to be. You have risen. They can't believe they let you go. They can't believe they tried to dim a light so bright. That regret is now burning them from the inside. They've even asked people about you secretly. They tried to find out if you're seeing someone, if you're happy. But what they're really searching for, is hope that you might forgive. But you don't need to answer right away. Let their confession echo in their own soul for a while. Type Amen to get blessing 1444. Archangel Michael says, this person may confess something about your family. Something they witnessed but never told you. Something they hid to avoid the chaos that truth would bring. But now they know the silence is worse than the explosion. They know you deserve to know everything. And the angels are pressing on their soul like thunder now. They tried to live a normal life. But your face, your photo, your spirit won't let them rest. Every time they try to run, it's you they run into. And that's why this truth is coming. Whether you're ready or not, it's arriving. Type Amen to get blessing 1717. The words they're planning to say might feel like fire. But the moment after, it will be peace. You will realize you were never crazy. You were never dramatic. You were never wrong to feel what you felt. They will tell you things like, you were right. They will admit what they said behind your back. The betrayal. The envy. The manipulation. But you'll be standing in strength. Because your healing did not wait for their apology. Type Amen to get blessing 616. Your image carries something divine now. When they saw your photo, it wasn't just a memory, it was judgment. It was a mirror held up to their lies. They know they hurt a good soul. They know they betrayed someone who only wanted love. And they're sobbing because no amount of apology can erase the damage. But still, they must try. Because the weight of unspoken guilt is killing their peace. You'll hear the pain in their voice. But you'll feel no fear. You'll feel power. Because the truth sets you free, even when it comes late. Type Amen to get blessing 737. Prepare yourself. Not for confrontation, but for release. What's coming will not destroy, it will deliver. You've waited for this moment, even without knowing. Your heart has held space for this day. And the universe has watched patiently. This person will confess everything. The words they feared. The secrets they buried. The truth they ran from. And you, dear soul, will stand in silence, not because you have no words, but because peace has no need to scream. Type Amen to get blessing 999. Your photo was more than a picture, it was a portal. A gateway for truth to re-enter a heart that had shut you out. Their confession is coming. You are ready. The angels have cleared the way. And when the words are finally spoken, heaven will exhale. Because a wound too long hidden, will finally be healed. They're going to speak in a way they never have before. Not the person who wore the mask of pride. Not the one who vanished without warning. But the real one, the one who cried when your photo cracked them wide open. They know the difference now. Between love and possession. Between truth and fear. They used to confuse your kindness as weakness, but now they understand it was strength. This confession will not be rehearsed. It will be raw. It will spill out of them like a wound that's been bleeding for years. And finally, they'll beg the universe to help them heal what they broke. Type Amen to get blessing 4343. They will say your name like it's sacred. With a tremble in their voice and tears in their eyes. They will confess to things you never imagined. And yet, in that moment, you will feel calm. Not because you forget, but because you've already risen above it. They're only just arriving at the truth you've lived with for so long. This person is coming apart in silence. They try to function but the guilt whispers behind every word. Their peace is ruined, and your photo did that. Your image was the mirror. The moment of reckoning. The flood that washed away every excuse they ever made. Type Amen to get blessing 818. They've told someone close to them already. They needed to practice saying the truth out loud. That person was shocked. Even they didn't know how deep the betrayal had gone. This confession involves more than heartbreak. It involves deception, envy, a moment where they deliberately harmed you, and smiled after. But now, they can't even look at themselves. They cry not just because of what they did, but because they fear they've lost the one person who ever truly saw them. They held that photo to their chest. They whispered, "I wish I could go back." But the past doesn't offer do-overs. It offers truth. Type Amen to get blessing 1771. They will admit how they pretended you didn't matter. How they said things like, "I'm over them," and "I never cared." But every word was armor. And now that armor has shattered. They may admit something happened on a particular night. A moment where they made a decision that changed both your lives forever. They never told you because they thought it would ruin you. But the truth is, it ruined them. And now they are standing in the aftermath, holding nothing but a letter filled with shame. You are not the same soul they once knew. You are now someone who shines with divine protection. Type Amen to get blessing 1919. They might try to see you face to face. You'll feel their presence before they arrive. A strange chill, a sudden heartbeat, a knowing in your spirit that something is shifting. You may be tempted to turn away. To ignore the knock. But when you open the door, you'll see it. The eyes that once lied now flooded with remorse. They won't beg. They won't explain. They'll just speak. And the truth will unfold in a wave that finally puts the pieces together. Archangel Michael says, "You will not fall. You will not break. You are stronger than the pain they bring. You are the storm that became still." Type Amen to get blessing 6006. They will tell you why they couldn't look you in the eye back then. Why they ghosted you. Why they disappeared. It wasn't because you were wrong, it was because you were too right. They thought they were protecting you by hiding what they did. But all they did was turn themselves into a prisoner of their own fear. Now they want out of that prison. And the key? It's your truth. Your name. Your mercy. But you owe them nothing. You are the light they didn't expect to miss. But now they realize, even a single photo of you carries more power than their entire world of pretense. Type Amen to get blessing 747. They may speak of others who influenced them. People who poisoned them against you. Names you've heard before. Names you never trusted. And they'll say, "I should have listened to you." They'll say, "You warned me, and I laughed." And now, they're the one crying. They're going to mention something they still have, something of yours. Something you forgot or left behind. And they've kept it, unable to throw it away. That item became their burden. And your photo? It became their mirror. Their soul has nowhere left to hide. Type Amen to get blessing 3737. They imagined this moment for months. Practicing in their head what they'd say if they ever got the courage. Now that courage is thin, but desperation is thick. You will see it in their body. They'll look older, smaller, more worn down. Because guilt does that, it eats the spirit from the inside. They may collapse into tears. Not for sympathy. But because the lie they lived can no longer breathe in your truth. You might be tempted to offer comfort. But you don't have to. Just standing there in your calm is enough to rewrite the balance. Type Amen to get blessing 1911. This person never expected to break. They thought time would erase their choices. But time only made the truth louder. They've been dreaming of you lately. Hearing your voice. Seeing your eyes. Your soul is calling theirs to account. They will admit they still love you. Not because they want something. But because they've never stopped. And that truth has cost them everything. But whether you forgive them or not, doesn't matter anymore. The truth is in motion. And it cannot be undone. Type Amen to get blessing 939. They might say, I'm sorry I didn't choose you. Or